Welcome back to another episode of From My Perspective. I'm your boy Dion coming to you. I hope everyone's having a great day. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. But once again, I'm your boy Dion, joined here by the man, the myth, the legend, Captain Hater himself. Q, how's it going today?
Man, what it is? You already know the rest of the show. Boy, Mr. Bear, aka say your name bonus pod. Might not put you to mouth. What's going on, Dion?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. Wrestlepalooza, Q, you go, you BTA, you put belt to ass on me in the prediction standpoint. Unfortunately, also unfortunately, but maybe it was fortunately. Maybe I was a little fortunate. I wasn't able to watch Wrestlepalooza live. I was busy working. And then I ain't even gonna hold you guys. I attempted to watch it after the fact. Obviously, I heard how bad it was. I'm like, was it really that bad? I got through the John Cena Brock Lesnar match. I had to do something else. I was like, all right, I'm gonna come back to it. People kept telling me it's bad. And I was like, you know what? Let me just watch the highlights. So, full transparency, guys, I got through the Brock Lesnar John Cena match. I started the Jey Uso the tag match. I didn't finish it. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, but I did specifically watch the highlights of the Stephanie Valkyrie EO match because I needed to see that one. I'll probably go back and watch that one for sure because that was clear from the highlights. That was clearly the best match of the night. But Westpalooza got a C grade. From what I saw, they lucky to get a C grade from their own from ESPN. Q, you watched it live, unfortunately. So tell me about it.
A C was generous. I just want to call it a C was generous. I, so okay. Let me be nice. I give it a C. I give it a C. Now I want to give it a D.
There's
You know
only
what?
one.
I am
There's
gonna
only
give it
one
a D.
reason why you give it a C because of one match, really.
You know, so true. That it didn't. How can I be nice in saying this? What was the point of the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match if John Cena was going to lose?
I agree. It went how I expected it, but I just expected Johnson to have one last hope spot and actually win, but he didn't. I don't know.
What? Like, no, really, what was the point?
And
We
it
all
doesn't look like he's getting a rematch either. That's even crazy.
we seen this rodeo before. John Cena get some licks in, but then Brock Lesnar throw him around like a rag doll. We didn't. We saw this rodeo before. Why do we have to see this again on Wrestlepalooza? It didn't. Nothing felt special about that match. It felt like a repeat of 2014. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I didn't. I just made up a year. You know what I mean? It might not even be an accurate year, but at this point, the match wasn't accurate. To me, that was a waste of a match.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into the Bronze versus the Usos. That match was okay. So that match was a C. It wasn't nothing spectacular about it. It wasn't nothing bad about it. It was just some good wrestlers. It was a good match. It was a solid
The,
match.
the right team won too.
Yeah, the right team did win. The right team did win. That was the best, probably the best outcome because the women's match, we already knew who was going to win the women's match. They put it on a good match.
You called that
We
shit 2 months ago.
we knew that we knew that 2 months ago that she was going to win that match. Whether it was Naomi or whether it was Io or whether it was Rhea, Valkyrie was going to win that match. Stephanie Valkyrie, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She was going to win that match regardless. But they did put on a good match. That match was a B plus, A
Mm-hmm.
minus. That match carried. The CM Punk and the
AJ
CM
Lee.
Punk, AJ Lee, and then versus Becky himself. The match was good, but they kept doing each other's moves. After like the first 2 times was like, all right, cool, that's what's up, that's dope. Then once we got to the third and fourth time, them trying to do each other's moves, it was kind of like, all right, fam, it's getting repetitive, but all right, cool. The fifth and sixth time, I'm like, all right, man, stop. What are we doing? We get it. Y'all know each other's moves. Y'all can get out and kick out of each other's moves. We get it. The match went 30 minutes, which went like 20 plus, like 20 something minutes or whatnot. That was cool. AJ Lee looked good. People say she had a little ring rust. I ain't see it personally, but I wasn't looking for it. Maybe that's why I didn't see it. I wasn't looking for it. And then the championship match kind of was blocked.
Yeah, and
It felt like it ended. It ended the way it ended. It set up a storyline for Drew to get a rematch, but it also felt like it ended kind of easy.
and you hearing the things that they said that they was floating around. Randy Orton's supposed to cost Cody the match. That would have been interesting. Like, what are y'all doing in the booking room? It was bad. It was bad, but it's the first one. Apparently, there's gonna be more Wrestlepaloozas in the future. They're trying to make it a thing. Me and you, Q. We've had this debate a bunch about what's the big four. Maybe is the Money in the Bank in that group. So obviously, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. I'll be talking about how Money in the Bank should be in that group. You be like, no, it's not. You also don't be kind of loving Survivor Series that much. But apparently, they're trying to put Wrestlepalooza in that group of big time pay per views. If that's what they want, the first one is not a good indicator. You think they should do something like that? Wrestlepalooza, I like the name. I think the name works. But the way this one, first one, they might need to go ahead and call it something different next year.
I like the name, but again, like we said, I said pre the event, you gave me names, but you didn't give me Wrestlepalooza feel because it was 5 matches. I'm expecting 7 matches. I like the name. I don't know. I feel like it's a little too close to SummerSlam for it to be one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give it something different. That's why I said, what's going to make Wrestlepalooza stand out from the rest of them? I would assume that it would be the length of like it's all day wrestling. You're just going to get matches all day. Then, okay, that's cool. But you didn't give me that this year. So,
No,
I mean, they could run it
did.
back. But give me something.
Well, yeah. But that is Westwood. We're not going to talk too long about it. We're not going to talk long about trash. Next up, though, they're going to be in Perth, Australia. There's already matches booked. We got John Cena, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. As of right now, Stephanie Valkyrie versus Tiffany Stratton. It could be Naomi or Jade Cargill. That card is shaping up to be pretty decent. Looking forward to it. We'll talk about it more when it comes to predictions. But it's an 8 o'clock start. And part of me is kind of hyped that it's an 8 o'clock start, 8 a.m. start on a Saturday. But we'll talk more about that one when the time comes. But we gotta talk about two people lost their jobs not too long ago. But we're gonna talk more about the first one. The New York Liberties former head coach, Coach Sandy Brondello. Uh, the Liberty finished 27-17, second in the East, but she lost her job. I saw the interview. It was her with Breonna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and it was a little awkward because it was. I guess I keep up with the WNBA, but I don't keep up with it like I keep up with NFL and the NBA. But it seems like it was it was kind of known that her time was probably up. How you feeling about them firing a couple that had a great record? She's been there 4 seasons, I
4
believe.
seasons.
She finished fourth her first season, first her second season, first her third season, the second. So, and she's only had one losing season. That was her first one. Outside of that, she's been 32-8, 32-8, 27-17. So it seems like they're firing a good coach. What am I missing here?
The GM said, what do you say? A rapidly changing WNBA. He often these decisions. I found the quote. Often these decisions are marked fork in the road, moments for organization. You can either stand still or you can embrace change and move forward. And my commitment is to keep pushing the New York Liberty to new heights. We believe that embracing the change will bring a freshness and an energy to our group. All right. So, like you said, that post the post game press conference. it did feel like, okay, everybody already knew she was getting fired, and her players was trying to stand up for her, but it did feel a little awkward from my perspective, looking from the outside in. She just won a championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
Who you think you are? Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna fact check myself here in a second. They only won one championship in the history, and they was one of the founding teams. They was one of the founding teams. You just got that championship last year. Why you fire your coach? To me, that from the outside looking in, I don't think you're gonna find a better head coach. But somebody else, one of these other WNBA organizations, they about to get them a solid head coach because she's gonna go somewhere else and turn their program around as well. If I'm one of those new teams, I'm already on the phone with her agent right now. If I'm the what's Portland Tempo, is that what they calling themselves, or is it Toronto Tempo?
The Toronto Tempo and
And
with the
I forget.
the
I forget.
Cleveland team, I think. But they
Well,
get
I
so
know.
many teams.
Yeah, they get shout out to WNBA for expanding. But if I'm one of these WNBA expansion teams, I'm on the phone with Coach Sandy right now and saying, "Hey, all right, how you feel about coaching us? How you feel about coming to us?" Because she showed that she's a winner and she could build a program. To me, it don't. From the outside looking in, it doesn't make sense. But what do I
But
know?
if I'm looking at this correctly, they do have one WNBA championship, so that's they won. They also have three conference championship, and I believe all three of them came from her. Maybe one of them came from somebody else, but it looks like all three of them came from her. Her total record regular season 100. She's 107 wins, 53 losses. In the playoffs, she's had 16 wins, 11 losses, 4 seasons. So I don't know, but yeah, she's like she ain't gonna be out of a job long. Ain't no way she's not gonna be out of a job long. So I just didn't understand it because I knew they won the championship last year. I knew she was a good coach, but why are you firing her? I was dumbfounded, especially like I said, I watched the interview and you just tell that they was looks like she's out the door. I just didn't
Mm.
understand why. But I'm not a GM. If I was a GM, I wouldn't have fired him. Like, shoot, we had a down year. We had a bad year. It happens.
They didn't even. That's the thing, though. Like you said, they was number 2 in the East, and they had a lot. They had a bunch of injuries. Brianna missing time. Uh, Jacquel Jones missing time. They had a bunch of players. They like the Fever. They had a bunch of players who missed some time. Now, unlike the Fever was season ending, but the Liberty, some of their, they came back after some time. But after after having those injuries and still was able to be the number 2 seed, it felt like it was some personal stuff going on. That's the only thing that
Has to
makes
be.
sense at this point. It's something personal. I don't know if between her and specific players, her and upper management, whatever the case, it had to be some personal stuff. Because you don't fire a coach who just won the championship, won y'all first championship in 2024, and then the year before won their commissioner's cup.
Yeah.
Like they think like the NBA cup that they had. They won the commissioner's cup the year before. There's no way
Yeah.
you find a coach that just did all of this. And like I said, led an injury prone team, a team, well, not prone, a team full of injuries to the number 2 seed. It don't make sense.
Yeah. We'll see if they end up regretting. I mean, hey, speaking of New York teams, they love to fire their coaches maybe a little early. I mean, the Knicks had that issue. They fired a good coach, and maybe if they would have kept him, they might have been the favorite in the East. But that's neither here nor there. But let's talk about the rest of the WNBA playoffs. It's a Minnesota Lynx and a Phoenix. They're going against each other. They are tied 1-1. The Aces and the Fever are also tied 1-1. How you see it playing out? This is a best of 5. The finals will be best of 7. But how you see this playing out? And tell me why it's not going to be the Minnesota Lynx.
So you want me to lie to you on this podcast?
I'm just asking. I was seeing if you had a reason why, because it's the Lynx and Aces. I see it being the Lynx and the Aces, and I see the Lynx winning it all. I want to see if you can give me a reason why it's not going to be the Lynx.
you want me to come up? Okay, I can come up with some reasons why the Lynx might not win it all, even though I think they will. I'm gonna give you reasons for each team.
Right.
Reason one, and this one's gonna be short and sweet. The Las Vegas Aces. Her name is Asia Wilson.
And we gotta congratulate her. We kind of wrote her off. Obviously, she didn't write us back. We thought the MVP was going to somebody else, but the MVP is going to her. She's the first time, four-time MVP. So congratulations to her.
Cool. This might be a Captain Hater moment. This is what I was talking about on the phone with my cousin yesterday. Me and her was talking some WNBA. It might be a Captain Hater moment, or you might not view it this way. I feel like if Collier had not got hurt, she would have won that trophy.
Yep.
And that's not to take away from what Asia Wilson did. It's to big up what Collier did
Yep.
throughout the regular season before her injuries. It's not to be clear, it's not to take away, but it's just to big up Collier. But if the link for the Lynx to lose to the Las Vegas Aces, the reason will be Asia Wilson. And don't get me wrong, they got Donna Evans, they got Lloyd that came from Seattle this after the trade. So they got a solid roster as well. You know what I'm saying? But the MVP's the MVP. The reason why I think the Mercury could beat the Lynx would be and win it all is they got AT after playing like a baby Joker. And you know what I mean? If you got a person who could give you 15 to 20 points and also could give you the 10 assists and can get you the rebounds and keep everybody else involved, why not? And then they also, like the Aces, they have a solid team. Well, to get this far, everybody has a solid team. They have a solid team. Cool. My Indiana Fever. For us to win it all,
Need prayer.
God need to do us a favor. Just go keep a spade. God need to do us a favor. That being said, if I'm doing some X's and O's stuff, Kelsey, for us to win it all, Kelsey Mitchell can't have an off night, and neither can Aaliyah Boston. If one of them have an off, if one or both of them have an off night, you see what happened with us with Game 2. Kelsey Mitchell was off a little bit. If both of them got to be on every night, and Lexi Hall has to be knocking down her 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we can win. Hate to say it, everything gotta go perfect. But I would love for the Fever to win, especially this year, because everybody points to Caitlin Clark. If they win it this year without her, that says a lot about the team that's already, put together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, for the, God gotta do us a favor. Kelsey Mitchell gotta go, you know what I'm saying? 18 for 20. Lexi Hall gotta go 6 for 7 from 3. Aaliyah Boston gotta get a double-double.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Natasha Howard, she got to have 7 blocks. Like, it's got to be, we got to play a perfect game.
So let's see if God answers those prayers. But that's the WNBA players. We'll have the finals. We'll be talking about it. It's a best of 7. I'm looking forward to a best of 7. I do need ESPN and WNBA as a whole to market their finals a little bit better. Because I know if Caitlin Clark was in the playoffs, we wouldn't hear enough of it. We need to hear more about that y'all in the playoffs. I'm just want to point that out for you guys.
Especially, it's the first year. It's a game of 7. First year that it's a 7-game series for the finals. That should have been promoted throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it was stopped. It was discussed, but it wasn't talked about enough.
No,
you know what I mean?
More.
Game 7, the best two words in sports. Game 7.
And how incredible would it be for the first time in the WNBA for a best of 7 series to be played that they actually go to a game 7? I can just only hope as a sports fan. I can only hope. But let's shift to college football. Obviously, we're going to talk about our thoughts about what happened last week. But we got to talk about what happened basically early on in the week. And as another person, unfortunately, lost their job, Mike Gundy, the head coach for Oklahoma State, has been the coach for them for the last 20 years. Probably his most notable moment as the Oklahoma State coach is he had a rant where he was like, I'm a man, he's 40. One of the most iconic rants in college sports post game, and that was like early in the YouTube days, and people watched that a million times. But he's been there for 20 years, and he just, from what you hear, he just wasn't willing to fully shift gears into this new NIL era, paying the players. He wasn't all about hitting that transfer portal as hard as he probably should have been. He was late to that party. And Oklahoma State's AD finally decided they need to go ahead and cut the plug on their best, who was their best head coach in program history. Again, has been there for 20 years, since 2005. They had to finally pull the plug so they can get somebody in there that is ready to push on with the new era. What's your thoughts on Mike Gundy getting fired from Oklahoma State, man? 20 years.
So we had some jokes for him 2 weeks ago. Well, it was a week. It was a week ago when we did the pod. The game was 2 weeks ago when they played Oregon in Oregon, 69-3, right? And then they turned around the next week and lost to Tulsa. Tulsa's the small, it's Oklahoma State, and Tulsa would be the third.
Yeah.
AD didn't like that they lost to Tulsa.
Nope.
I feel as if, and it's just me. Like I said, we got some jokes for him 2 weeks ago, and you got blown out. But that being said, I feel like he still deserves some respect to at least finish the season. You've been there 21 years. He's a graduate from Oklahoma State as well. So he's a Cowboy through and through.
Mm-hmm.
You could at least because at the end of the day, what are you Oklahoma State? No offense. What are you gaining by not allowing him to finish the season? Because you ain't hopping in the transfer portal that quick. Your NIL ain't gonna change that quick.
Okay, so this is a good conversation, and we're ADs now. Thinking about it as an AD, especially if you know you're going to fire a dude. Now, there's a lot of ADs that believe it's pointless to fire a person in the middle of the season. I somewhat agree with that, but I also feel like you might need to get a early jump on your hiring process, especially in today's era where the transfer portal. There's only one transfer window now. They changed that rule. There's no more spring transfer portal. It's only a December transfer. You gotta be ahead of the game. Now, I can see what you mean. Like, get ahead of the game that first Sunday as soon as the season's over with, because they're not gonna make a bowl game. Get ahead of the game. Get your coach in there by the week. I can see that, but I can also understand you might want to just get him up out of there because you don't want him out there on the recruiting trail trying to recruit, knowing he's not going to be there because he's probably going to get some people to commit. And then once you fire him, you're going to lose those commits, and that new guy's got to start over from scratch, even though he's going to start over from scratch anyways. But I can see why you would want to get him out of there quickly. But I think I fall more, if I was an AD, I would fall more on your side where I probably let most of my coaches finish the season before I fire them. It would probably be tough though, because when I'm in my meeting with them, knowing like, damn, I'm probably gonna have to fire you in a couple weeks. It'd probably be tough for me on that, but
here's my pushback to that. You talked about recruiting, right? Your offensive coordinator is gonna be the one recruiting now.
yeah.
Wouldn't you rather, especially in this situation, or your defense coordinator, whoever, especially in this situation, you having people recruit. When you fire a coach, you're gonna have people out there recruiting high school players that probably won't even be there.
Yeah.
It's a strong because the new coach is gonna bring in his own people. Why wouldn't you, especially in this situation, why wouldn't you want the person who been at Oklahoma State the longest, who loves Oklahoma State more than a lot of stuff in this world, recruiting for that program? And to me, it's a bad look because this shows that he's been here 21 years, and again, he's a grad. He's been committed to this program. Man, we don't care about that. You lost the Tulsa, we're gonna fire you. If you can't be committed to basically your own child, if I'm the head coach, I'm gonna look at you kind of like, If I'm the new head coach, I'm gonna look at you like I'm not safe for you. He's been there 21 years. You wouldn't let him finish out the season, especially because at the end of the day, damn, cool. You let him get to the last 2 weeks. You go ahead and have that. Hey, we're gonna let you go at the end of the season. He gonna finish because again, he's Oklahoma State. He gonna finish out the regular season, and that's it. You ain't gonna hire nobody tomorrow. You ain't gonna hire nobody to the end of the regular season anyway. So you can start the process 2 weeks out. At least that's my
Right.
perspective.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. But yeah, that was one of the big news that's happened. But the quick thoughts on what happened last week before we fully get into what happened last week. Q, do you want to apologize to a certain team out there?
Do I want to apologize? No. Will I apologize? No. Just tell them to do it versus Ohio State. Then I apologize. Tell them to do it
Okay.
against Oregon. Would I give them some credit? IU football, even though y'all ran from U of L multiple times now at this point, I'm gonna give y'all some respect and I'm gonna give y'all some credit because Illinois is a good team.
Was a
And
top 10 team. They're probably dropped to late teens now, but that
it,
was a top 10 team.
it man, they sacked Indiana sacked their quarterback 7 times. At no point in my life, Dion, have I ever seen that Indiana football was a terror on the football field. They was out here smacking people up. They've been good before. They was 75 type team, might hit a 8-4, but really they was a losing program. Now all of a sudden they out here smacking up other top 10 opponents.
63-10. That's what you do to FCS teams. Like we shitted on my Gundy for losing like this to Oregon. That's a top 10 team. Illinois was.
Ooh. So am I gonna apologize? No, you know what I'm saying. Illinois is still Illinois. Let's not. This ain't Ohio State. This ain't Oregon. This ain't Michigan. This ain't Alabama, Georgia. This ain't Clemson. Oh, I ain't gonna say Clemson. Woo. You know what I mean? Woo. But I will give IU football some credit. They deserve to be in the top 10. But do I look at them as a national champion contender? No. Is that a little hater in me? Yes.
Well,
Will I change my mind if they play Ohio State and be Ohio State like that? Nah, because I'll probably come up with some reason.
well, you might get your wish. Obviously, they got Iowa this week, a bye. Then they go to Eugene and play Oregon, which Oregon has looked good. We'll find out more about Oregon this week as they play someone pretty good. We'll get to that in a
Piss.
second. But last week the biggest game was two games was Florida versus Miami. Miami won. We knew that was gonna happen. And then it was Auburn, Oklahoma. John Mateer had another great game beating Auburn. He was, when I said was, the Heisman frontrunner from our perspective. He is no longer the Heisman frontrunner. Yeah, he messed up his thumb, and he is now out for about 3 or 4 weeks, which pretty much takes him out of the Heisman race. So I'm looking at you, Marcel Reed from Texas A&M. It's your time. Try to go get it. Uh, there's a couple other people out there. It's your time. Outside of that, no other game really stood out. So we just go ahead and move on to week 5. Louisville beat Bowling Green. It was a little shaky in the beginning, but we beat Bowling Green. We got our first conference game against Pittsburgh this week. How you feeling? You feeling confident? We got to go to Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous. If you look at insert sports book here, we would love a sponsor from any sports book that wants to sponsor us. But we're about a 4.5 point favorite, 5 point favorite. I seen some were a 6 point favorite. How you feeling?
I don't trust the quarterback, and I don't trust Miller Moss. I think this game would be the do or die for me as far as trusting him.
Yeah.
Because he got a conference opponent, even if it ain't the best conference opponent, a conference opponent on the road, you gonna have to play your best football, and this is where he's gonna have to show up, and I want to see what he do.
Mhm. I agree. But we'll see what happens. We're gonna go through a couple of these games. I specifically want to talk about this game, LSU versus Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin going up against Brian Kelly. Now, I want to talk about this. Obviously, it's a ranked matchup, but I want to get your raw reaction when I tell you this. You probably didn't hear. I don't know if you heard about it,
I didn't.
but Lane Kiffin, we know who Lane Kiffin is. Pretty young coach, one of the best coaches out there in special fantasy. He has a daughter who goes to Ole Miss. I'm sure this was on purpose. but she officially went Instagram official with a linebacker for LSU. I believe his name is Wheatley, something like that. What are your thoughts on the head coach's daughter dating a linebacker at LSU, especially them going official? Now, obviously, you could if you know Lane Kiffin knew about the relationship well before this, but this was obviously posted for a reason because they're playing each other this week. But I thought it was an interesting thing to see.
Now that you mentioned it, I had heard that. I listened to Bomani and Bomani and he had Spencer Hall on. They talked about that. They talked about how his daughter is like her, is like him. They kind of prickly. So she did that to get under his skin on
Yeah.
purpose. It wasn't even about nobody else. It was to get at her father. Man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if my son did some stuff like that, he posted some girl that went to UK and I'm the head coach of U of L. Hey, bro, what you doing? Hey, bro, I know we joke a lot, right? But this is your college tuition here. What we doing? Like, why you going to school for free? Because I coach her. Why you doing this? Look, I gotta work here. You don't. You know what I mean? But she do gotta go school there. But yeah, nah, that shows, good family relationship, good dynamic.
Yeah.
I would be mad if I was him.
Yeah, but yeah, interesting game. That game comes on at 3:30. I'll be taking a look at that game. It's a week that I actually don't have anything to really do this Saturday, so I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and watch college football. Um, Now this game, I'm gonna have two TVs on these next two games. We got both of them. These games come on at 7:30. We got the Alabama Georgia. Obviously, it's not the Alabama old, but it's still Alabama. And you got Georgia. Last year it was a good game. And then we got the whiteout. We got Oregon. We got Penn State at 7:30. I'm a little disappointed that these games are at the same time, but I got a TV and I got a computer, so I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make them make it work.
I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to YouTube with multi-view. I'm gonna put both of them on at the same time. Uh, uh, Franklin, don't he have to
Yeah,
win this game? Because don't we always say he can't win the big game? Ain't
we
this is
always
a
say
big
that.
game? It's
This
a
is a
big
huge
game.
game.
It's a big game. Don't
Now the
do he have
statistic
to
on it
win this?
is the statistics on it is top. Technically, his record against top five teams. Technically, Oregon isn't a top five team. That's six, but it's still a big game.
Yeah.
Still a big game. So I would put it in that big game bucket. But I agree, he probably should win this one. And it's a whiteout too. You know how Penn State gets when it's a whiteout. So
Yeah, the stadium go crazy, but they be losing sometimes. Like, yeah, you made it sound bad. Don't they be losing those? Don't they? They be
yeah,
losing doing these whiteouts sometimes. Uh, I feel like James Franklin got to win this game. If he don't win this game, they gonna be turning him a new one on every sports podcast, television show, everything. They gonna count Penn State out because they said the coach ain't gonna be able to get over the hump. I ain't gonna lie, I want Oregon to win, dude.
why you
Can
want Oregon to win?
can I tell you why?
I'm listening.
Because they got to play Indiana in a couple of weeks, and I want them to run through them.
Oh
Like,
man.
I want them to run. It's Captain Hayden and me a lot when it comes to how you football. Alabama used Georgia. I'm gonna watch it, and I think it's gonna be a good matchup. But I also was the same person who thought Georgia was just gonna smack Tennessee up. And Tennessee, to me, is a better team than Alabama, from my perspective. So I'm still going. I think Georgia gonna win this. I think Georgia gonna win this game. Now, that game was close. Georgia and Tennessee went to OT and had that field goal. So, but it's in Georgia. But this game's in Georgia. I don't know,
Yep.
man. I don't know, man. Alabama might be a two
Yeah.
might be a 2 touchdown win for Georgia.
Yeah, I agree. We gonna find out though. We gonna find out. I agree. I got Georgia. I'm rocking with James Franklin and Penn State. By the way, just so we can be on both.
Oh, LSU Ole Miss. Who you got?
I got Ole Miss. I don't believe in LSU. Those their 2 wins, their 2 big wins don't look so high. Clemson and Florida. Those 2 big wins, they don't look so hot at the moment. So I'm gonna go with Ole Miss, and it's in the Ole Miss as well.
But
So
Florida looked good last week when they played Miami.
for like the first 2.5 quarters.
I was gonna get there. I was gonna insert that caveat. Like they look good to start off. Like so, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with LSU mainly because I picked him to win the Heisman, so I need him to put up some.
Put up some
I
numbers.
need,
Hey, it's time. John Material's out.
yeah.
Somebody got to take it.
I'm gonna need him to. I need him to make it look like I know what I'm talking about on these damn podcasts.
Yep, somebody got to go get it. But other notable games is USC versus Illinois to see if Illinois can get back on that pond. But USC usually struggles when they come to the East Coast. So I mean, it's not fully the East, but when they go East, USC usually struggles. A game tomorrow, Florida State versus Virginia. It's on Friday, so I'm interested in that. But I just really want Florida State to win, not because I like Florida State, but because next week they play Miami, and I want them 2 teams to be undefeated when they play each other because that's going to be a
Okay.
big game, an old rivalry. If you watch the U 30 for 30s, you know how much they hate each other. Both them teams being undefeated going into a game, hey, college game day might even be there. But I
Yeah.
actually
That's
have no idea. Where's college game day going to be? Are they going to be at the Whiteout? I'm assuming, or are they going to be at
I,
Alabama,
I
Georgia?
would assume they would be at the Whiteout because Big Noon Kickoff ain't gonna be there.
The big noon kickoff is at it's another they got it's another early game for the big noon kickoff. By the way, I'm mm,
Oh, that for real. I hated that last week. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yeah, they had Oregon and Penn State. They had Penn
cool.
State.
Yeah, I don't know what the big noon kickoff is off the top of my head. I am trying to look.
But
Uh,
it makes sense for game day to be at Penn State because the game kicks off later that night.
yeah,
So it makes sense for them to be there. But yeah, man, I ain't they be losing in Whiteout. Man, ain't nobody until I see Penn State do it, I ain't got faith in it. Really, it's more so until James Franklin do it, I ain't got faith in it.
yep. All right, so let's go ahead and shift to the guys that get paid a lot more than these guys, the NFL. My Cowboys secondary stinks. So let's go ahead and move on from that. Daniel Jones, what the hell? Who is that man? I'm thinking someone is impersonating Daniel Jones's body. I want him investigated because I don't know if that's the actual Daniel Jones that was in New York. What else? What else happened last week you want to talk about, man?
And I just want to say, I know you just said it, but we as a Titans fan, we lost to Daniel Mother Jones. Daniel Jones, Danny, come on, bro. Like, hey,
They calling him Indiana Jones now.
Danny Dime, how he got 2 nicknames now? He got Danny Dime, and Indiana Jones. Tennessee. I was talking to a Tennessee fan, and we both looked. He looked at me and said, we might not win a game. He looked and said, we probably can't even beat the Cowboys. I said, well, the Cowboys gave up 40 something. He said, I know, but we can't put up 40 something. I said, you 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 right when you right. Like you you right when you right, and it bothers me. Other stick out was Monday night, obviously Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens. That was a really
Greg,
good game. It really was a really good game.
we might gotta have a conversation about Derrick Henry. This is the third game in a
We
row. Fumbled in the
let's have
fourth.
we need to have that conversation because I
Cause
meant to
we
say
hyped
that.
him up. We hyped him up a couple weeks ago, and
Di,
then
is it? You think it's in his head, or do you think it's because it's his age?
it's not his. It's definitely in his head now. I think the first one was just play his f up sometimes. The second one, all right, play his f up. Now especially after the third one, he's going to he's still going to be thinking about it. And it's hard to say if you're a coach. If I'm a coach, when the fourth quarter hits and it's like crunch time, I'll seriously start thinking about not giving Derrick Henry the ball. I will start thinking about it now. Because now it might become a problem. Because he's not just fumbling the ball. He's fumbling the ball at like the worst opportune time, the fourth quarter, where they're trying to run down the clock. They got a lead. They're trying to milk this clock and and win this game. He's fumbling at the worst times. He's killing it the first week 2, he didn't do so hot. But week 1, week 3, he's killing them. And he fumbles at the worst time. So that if I'm a coach, I'm going to fourth quarters, close games. I'm gonna be a little bit hesitant to hand Derrick Henry the rock, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't come through my head, but I might be now.
I agree with you that it's in his head because you see him on the sideline at Derrick Henry on the sideline after he fumbles that ball. You can see the frustration build, and he's in disbelief at himself, and he's overthinking it. I am concerned that this might be a trend for the entire season because he ain't gonna be able to. Let's be real, all of us humans do it, right? We fail to get out of our own way. We start putting too much pressure on ourselves, and then we start doing the thing that we trying to avoid doing. We end up doing it because we end so focused on not doing it that we end up taking our guard down on the stuff that prevents it. Derek, coming from a person who never fumbles to have 3 in a row. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know.
And if you they showed a stat, I think pretty much before this season, he's fumbled the ball twice in the fourth quarter. Lost the ball, fumbled and lost the ball twice in the fourth quarter. He's done it 3 times in 3 weeks this season.
Yeah, I don't know. One more thing that stood out from last week. LA Rams. What was y'all not doing to let the Eagles come back? I thought that game was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I turned that one off. I thought it was over.
Next thing I look up, Philly won. How? I guess I like how? How did Philly win? But yeah, LA Rams. Can y'all close the game? But yeah, that was my takeaways from last week.
Yeah, so, but pretty good last week of Godly. We on to this week. And I'm already not looking forward to Sunday night. But let's go ahead and get these NFL pick'ems in.
All right, bet. Let's get it cracking. First, Tennessee Titans versus the Houston Texans. Yeah, who you got?
Oh man, both these teams are not playing great. I think both these teams are 0-3, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody got to get a win. I'm gonna ride with your team one more. I'm gonna ride with them one more time because I just think something's not right with Houston right now. CJ Stroud looks way off. Something's not right. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I don't know why, but I'm going with the Titans.
Okay, you going with the Titans. Who am I gonna go with? Let me talk about Texas real quick. I don't know if it's CJ Stroud, if it's the offensive or it's the offensive line, or is it coaching? Because CJ Stroud does not look similar. Not forget close. He don't even look similar to the player he was. You know what I mean? It's that rookie season. So I'm concerned about what they gonna be. Talk about Derrick Henry and his fumble. I'm concerned with what CJ Stroud gonna be throughout the rest of this regular season.
Yeah.
I'm going to Titans. I just want to discuss that real quick. Ravens versus Chiefs.
Both teams 1-3. It's a big game. Ravens gotta get a win. The Chiefs, even though they won, they didn't look so hot, and it was against the Giants. So the Ravens is the better team, and it's not the playoffs too. So Ravens. If it was the playoffs, I'm going Chiefs.
All right, so Ravens Chiefs. I think the question is who needs it more, and I think Kansas City needs it to win more.
I agree
Because the Ravens. Let's talk about it. The Ravens defense. I mean, the Ravens division is Cleveland Browns, who I can't believe they beat the Packers, but that trend is not going to continue. The Cleveland Browns don't even. They got quarterback issues, then they got rest of the team issues. The Cincinnati Bengals is on backup quarterback, and they already had defensive issues.
Yep.
They can't. Yeah, they still got their weapons, but can they backup quarterback get they weapons the ball? And they was basically a 500 team last year with a healthy Joe Burrow. So the Bengals is the Bengals, and then Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is not as good as I thought they was going to be. They not bad either, but they not as good as
look pretty decent. They not great, but I think the Steelers is a team you should watch out for. I'm not going to pick them to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to pick them to go far in the playoffs. I think they'll make it to the playoffs, but that's a team I think you should watch out for.
Felt that way to be in the season, but that trend might get there. But right now, watching them play, man,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because I feel like they need it more because they division, hell, might get both of the wild cards.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs,
probably.
Go ahead.
I said you're right, probably. So
yeah, so if you keep losing games, it's gonna be tough for you to get the wild card because you might not win the division because you already lost the Chargers over the week.
Yep.
Packers and Cowboys.
Man, is the Michael Parsons coming back? I honestly don't know. We look bad, but this is the exact type of game that the Cowboys will win and get people's hopes right back up. So I'm gonna ride with the Cowboys, even though I don't think we're the better team. But this is something the Cowboys will do. We'll beat the Green Bay Packers. We'll be riding high. They'll get our hopes up. Even though we should have beat the Bears last week, but somehow we'll beat the Packers. I don't know how. So I'm gonna go with Ali. Micah will get a sack too, by the way.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think he's gonna get 2 sacks. That being said, I'm gonna ride with Jordan Love. Jordan Love he looked, you know what I'm saying? Forget shaky. He didn't look good last week. I think he's gonna rebound versus y'all because let's be real. But y'all gave him 40 something points.
I watched the game. I don't know if you watched it, but they was running. There was so many people. I've never seen so many players wide open. It's like I was watching a Pop Warner football game. That's how many players was wide open. Not a high school. I watched a lot of high school football. They're not even that wide open in high school football. I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, they was just up here. Hey, off the line. Hey, I'm open. We ain't even hiked yet, bro. I'm open. You see what they get at here? I'm open.
And as soon as he caught it, nobody within 10 yards. I didn't understand. I don't know.
Y'all defense look rough. I can't talk. All right, Jets versus Dolphins Monday night.
The Jets finally get one. The Dolphins, they ready for Cancun. You can see it.
I'm going to go to Dolphins. Why? I have no earthly idea because I don't think neither one of these teams is good. But no. I definitely want to pick the other Monday night game. So, all right, Eagles versus Buccaneers. Both teams are 3-0.
The Eagles 3-0 is different than the Bucks 3. Even though the Bucks have most of their wins came from comeback wins.
I kept the hate. You being a hater now.
I am hating. But you know they should have lost to the Rams. They should have lost to the Rams. Mike Evans is out. That hammy creeped up on him. It's an annual thing for Mike Evans at this point. He gonna have hamstring injuries and he gonna get 1,000 yards. That's Mike Evans. But good. Thankfully they drafted Mecca Ibuka because that man looking like he's back in Ohio State. But I'm going with the Bucks.
And we going with the Bucks?
Yeah. I'm hating too.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna go with the Bucks too. I'm torn because I seen what Philly did last week before I cut it off. And when the Rams was up. they offense looked flat. They offense looked like it plateau. The Eagles plateau, and then all of a sudden, boom, it won. Oh man! And Baker Mayfield got a chip on his shoulder. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles because you went with the Bucks.
All right.
That being said, don't be surprised if the Bucks win. Oh, I guess I will throw this on her because it's overseas. Steelers Vikings. So we have 6 this week
Steelers.
because they over in Dublin.
Oh, shout out to Dublin.
Yeah, they over there in Dublin. So you said Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers too because it's gonna be like a home game. I bet that's it.
Yep, and that will do it for another episode of From Our Perspective. I'm your boy Dion. Thank you again for listening. We greatly appreciate you. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. Put your picks on who you think will win of the games we picked, just so y'all can have them as well. Also, what is your grade for Wrestlepalooza? We gave it a D plus. ESPN gave it a C. What is your rate? Tell us how bad you thought it was, because we thought it was bad. But again, thank you. Leave a like. Please subscribe. Off again, comment. Hit the link in the bio for merch. Captain Hater Q, go ahead and take us home.
Man, you already know the bad your boy, Mr. Bell. I can't say your name up on this pod real quick. Y'all fans, y'all need to stop thinking Edge is gonna be John Cena's final opponent. It's a bunch of rumors going on because he had his farewell segment at A&W. Edge or Adam Copeland, sorry, that's what he goes by now. Adam Copeland is not coming back to the WWE. He is going to film a TV show. He is not coming back to the WWE.
Nope.
But shout out to WWE. Everybody wanted the AJ Styles versus John Cena. We gonna get it. AJ Styles is retiring next year. So show him the same grace that y'all saw John Cena. Or, you know what I'm saying? I know he ain't a WWE lifer like John Cena, but AJ Styles is a legend in the wrestling community as well. So show him give him the same retirement tour or something similar that y'all gave John Cena this year. Also, show Randy Orton some more respect.
Mm-hmm.
His wife commented on that as well. But you already know the best. Your boy, Mr. Bale. I'll catch y'all next week.